Good morning, Oracles. Well, as of the time of this recording, Tesla stock and the indices are red pre-market. We do have the Jackson Hole Symposium continuing on today. It does close out tomorrow, so we're probably going to see some uncertainty today. Might see a little bit of a sell-off because, again, going into a weekend where we have the Fed talking, not knowing what they're going to come up with, not knowing what is going to be said, we could see some red today just to prepare for that. And then whatever we hear over the weekend is probably what's going to determine how we open up on Monday, whether it's going to be green or red. So yesterday we heard from the Fed that they're kind of hinting at a 50 basis point hike in September and then 25 in November and December and then a potential pause next year. So if they can reiterate that over the weekend, maybe we open up red on Monday. We shall see. Now, last night we had some awesome news coming out of SpaceX and T-Mobile. They have partnered up and they are going to be working together to be able to provide cell service to a lot of the dead zones all over the globe, starting in North America. Their goal is to be able to take out all of the dead zones and be able to make cellular connectivity accessible everywhere. So this is huge going forward for SpaceX and for T-Mobile. But, we talked about it last night where I was thinking, there's a good chance that we're going to see this accessibility in Teslas. And that was just a guess. And I had, posted that video before I had seen any tweets because the live stream wasn't even over yet. And then sure enough, Elon confirmed last night in Dave Lee's question asking if future Teslas are going to have accessibility to this. And Elon said yes. So this is a confirmation that Teslas in the future will all have access to Starlink. Now this is huge because, as I spoke about last night, you've got your cell phone in your pocket, you can have access to it. Now your vehicle will have access. So very similar to like an OnStar, but like with a lot more functionality and a lot more range to be able to be used in, you can now utilize Starlink in your Teslas in the future. So again, these satellites aren't getting launched until the end of 2023, and that's just going to be for the beta program where they're going to be testing, some of the text messages and some emails just to make sure it's working, and they're going to have emergency services on that. So again, now looking at the dates of this, getting this up by 2023, they start really pushing it out in 2024. 2025 to me is that huge next year for Tesla. So I think the next split that we see is going to come at the end of 2024. And if we don't see it in August of 2024, it will definitely be in August of 2025. And I think a lot of these little pieces that we are seeing of the puzzle right now will all come together at that time. And we're going to see a massive boom in the stock price come 2025. And in 2025, that is when robo-taxis are really going to start grabbing hold of everything, in my opinion. That's when I think they're really going to start moving out there. Regulations are going to have to come in. We'll see how regulations play with things when it comes to timing. It may go state by state here in the US. Other countries around the world, I think, might actually see full FSD and robo-taxis out there from Tesla before the US does, at least as far as nationwide goes. So we'll see how this goes. And when it comes to FSD, it looks like Dan O'Dowd has decided that he is going to fight back Tesla and say nope, and he doubled down and decided to add more money into fighting Tesla and the FSD. So looks like at this point, Tesla is going to have to take legal action against Dan O'Dowd. So just like with the Twitter situation that's going on, grab your popcorn because this is going to be definitely interesting. I cannot fathom seeing Dan win this. Personally, I think Dan is doing all of this stuff just to keep himself relevant and to keep his name and face out there. Very similar to Gordon Johnson. These guys know that they can't win, so they're just bringing up as much lavish FUD as they possibly can. It's so outlandish that people are like, you can't ignore it. It's like watching a train wreck. You just can't ignore this. And because of that, his name is now being spoken by many, many people, whereas before, nobody even knew who this dude was. So, congratulations, Dan O'Dowd. You've put your name on the map. Maybe not in the way you want, but either way, it's on the map. So part of me wants to not speak about him because I don't want to give him any of the spotlight. But, this needs to be stopped. So he's doing a great job keeping his name out there. But Thank God Tesla legal team is going to be taking care of this and squashing it hopefully soon. And so now looking at the stock itself, last night we discussed the new gaps, the gaps that are now looking at 247 and 259 respectively for the gaps that are below us, but now support and resistance levels. Those of course also got split as well. So our upper resistance level right now is 312, which was basically around that 940 mark previously. And when you're looking down, we are looking at 840 previously was that next support. So that next support on the way down is around 280. Below that 280 support is a support right below that bottom gap of 247 at $245. So those are our support and resistance levels to pay attention to. Now again, when it comes to technical analysis, this is just one of the pieces that I follow. I mean, it usually trends along the way. When you've got the majority of trades happening following a technical analysis of some sort, it's good to at least understand the basics of what is going on with technical analysis to see, where we are trending, which ways we are moving. Tesla is still currently consolidating, so we could see a breakout or a breakdown. We've got the cup and handle pattern, and most times we do see a breakout, but we could see a downward trend before that breakout happens. So just things that I'm monitoring on a daily basis and keeping you guys posted on. And again, when I do some live streams, I'll try to get one done on Sunday, maybe earlier in the day, so that those of you in the UK can watch along as well. I'll let you know my weekend schedule is a little bit off this weekend, but I'll keep you guys posted on that. So this way, you can follow along with it and you can ask me any questions you have as far as the charts and technical analysis so that you guys can learn how to do some of your own due diligence and research on that, because it's very helpful. I know for me, when I learned how to do it, it was very helpful that I can track, and I was like, ooh, starting to pick up on some own things, and then I can question stuff and then ask some other people who I know who know it better. So just a good little learning tool, a little piece that I use when I'm looking at the stock movements. And again, for me as a long-term investor, I am not trading off of this information. I'm doing it as a way to understand why the stock moves the way it does, why the market moves the way it does. Just understanding the pulse of Tesla stock and the entire market is very good for me to learn. It keeps my emotions out of things, because when it comes down to it, emotional trading is what's going to ruin your day every single time. So if you can learn why the stock moves the way it moves, it helps take your emotions out, because you're like, oh, why is the stock coming down? Well, let me take a look at the charts. Oh, it's coming down because we're in a downward trend. Totally normal. The sentiment is good. The fundamentals of the company are good. The only reason we're coming down is maybe there's a sell-off. Maybe there's a shift from growth plays to value plays, and that's just why we're changing and we're trending downwards. Lots of things that don't have anything to do with Tesla's fundamentals, but when you're emotionally trading, you may forget about the fundamentals and just go by the stock price alone. So it's a matter of keeping all of these different pieces of information together and understanding, all right, this is why it's moving. We're not moving because of fundamentals. We're moving down because of stupid FUD. And when you see stupid FUD bringing the stock down, that to me is a great time to add more. Because for me at this point, I'm still trying to accumulate as many shares as possible. So I monitor those downswings. And when I see us falling below the fundamental baseline of where I think the stock should be trading at, that to me is a great buying opportunity. So that's when I'm going to add more. And of course, nobody ever knows whether you're going to continue to go down or not. So that's why I just add little bits at a time, and the more we come down, the more I add. That is my strategy. That is not financial advice, but it has worked very well for me over the course of this year. And even as a long-term investor, maybe you're new to being a long-term investor for Tesla. You're not used to the volatility. So that could definitely lead to some, lack of conviction. So by learning all of these things, by learning the technical analysis tools, by learning how to follow the fundamentals of the company, that has really built up my conviction as to where we are going. So this way, when we do get pullbacks like we see, I get excited, because that means that I can add more for even less. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you think Tesla is going to finish today? Do you think the market is going to finish red going into the uncertain weekend? And how do you think that Starlink in Teslas is going to change Tesla's future revenue stream coming in? Do you think it's going to be a massive boost? Do you think it's just going to be a nice little added feature that Tesla can say they have one step above everyone else in competition? Let me know your thoughts. And don't forget, tonight we have Dr. Jack on the channel live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So any questions you guys have about Dr. Jack, we're going to talk about health and wealth and prosperity and living a longer and healthier life to be able to enjoy your wealth even longer. Jack is a huge Tesla investor himself. He's an anesthesiologist and a pain control doctor and a huge fan of Tesla and loves the potential of what Tesla can do in the future for humanity. So join us tonight. I will put the link down to the live stream in the description below so you can check it out there, and we will see you then. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all of the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a Patreon. That link is also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.